We've been a Hokulia franchisee, I think we've gone through 4 seasons now. My wife and I, we've enjoyed our Hokulia experience quite a bit. What's really nice, especially about a franchise in general, is that you can take a system that's tried and tested and jump right in and be successful. As we were thinking about purchasing a Hokulia franchise, we went out and we tested the product ourselves. And when you really enjoy something and you can see the current business functioning and doing well, you figure you can do the same, and we've been able to replicate that and do the same. Well, I've always enjoyed the thought of having my own business and running a business. I work in healthcare, but I've always looked at other things and other options, and I've always noticed that shave ice, and there's been different types of snow cone businesses out there that seem to be successful. And when we tried Hokulia, it was so different from anything we'd ever tried before. And when you can get something that sets itself apart from the norm, you know that, okay, this is good and people are gonna wanna come. That's kind of what drove us to say, hey, yeah, let's give it a shot. The corporate office for Hokulia has been great to work with. I've had really good success. One example, this last year, I really was struggling with a location, and Clint in particular just went to bat for me and really pushed and helped us to get that problem figured out. I've been able to, via email or text or phone, if I have a concern or need advice or to reach out to how to do something, I've always had great support. There's plenty of tools in place. Every year at convention, there's usually something new that's occurring in the business to help you keep customers excited about your products, as well as us as franchisees to stay connected to the business and give us tools that help us be more efficient, help us to drive customers, help us to promote the business. We've had great success with working with the corporate office, and I feel like I can call them anytime from the CEO on down, and everybody's really willing to help us out. As a franchisee, I feel like my voice is heard when I talk to corporate staff. And that's one thing that's been really nice, is I feel like I can get on the phone and call anybody and say, hey, have you thought about this, or shoot an email. That's another thing that's really nice about convention when we get together, is they listen. We're all out there on the front lines every summer, enjoying our experience and serving up the product. And so I think as franchisees, who is better to give some advice on how to run the business or how to give suggestions for improvement than the people who are doing it every day. And I think they recognize that is the case. And every few years, there's a rotation for an advisory board. And so I've had the opportunity in the last year to be on the advisory board. And I know they listen, because one of the recommendations I had was that we move the convention to right before the beginning of the season to kind of get everybody motivated. And that's something I thought about for a while, and I thought, well, I'm just going to suggest it. And then sure enough, that's what they did. And so a smart business listens to the people who are working in the front lines of providing the product or the service. And I think Hokulia has done a great job of listening. I don't have any problem calling them up or emailing them, and we get the help we need. I think the couple things for must-do success is you've got to be involved. Hokulia is a business that you just can't set up and walk away from. You can have people hired to do certain jobs for you, but I like being involved in creating the business to how I think it should be run. And there's 3 things that we preach heavily in our locations, and that is, it's got to be quality, it's got to be fast, and you got to be friendly. People come to your place of business and they want something of value, and the way that you increase value is improving the quality and improving the service. And so you've got to be able to emulate that with your staff. And so I make sure that I'm at one shack at least once a week in the evening. My wife's there another night, that we're present and we're demonstrating how to give a quality product and do it at a good speed so customers have a good experience. And as far as the business side of it, big key is your labor costs. You gotta watch your labor costs, pay attention. I probably log into Olympus POS 10 times a day. I've got all my managers on speed dial, and so they know that I'm watching, and then you teach them how to watch what your costs are. And there's gonna be days when it's just booming, you need extra help, and there's other days when when it's not booming as much, and you've got to make those decisions to cut back on that labor cost. But being involved, knowing what's going on a day-to-day basis, be the expert, because your employees look at you as the expert. As far as the financial aspects of Hokulia, I mean, you think about one of my favorite movies is, Field of Dreams, you build it, they'll come. I mean, that's works with Hokulia. The most challenging part, and I tell this to people who come and talk to me, is just finding a location, getting your power in. Once you get that in there, you're good to go. People will come and the word gets out. And then every year as you work at it, you become more and more efficient. You learn how to control your labor costs. You learn how to control your cost of goods sold, and you become more and more efficient. I look at our first year to our fourth year, we are much more efficient, and therefore our margins are a lot better. And our goal as a family is to get into the business, give our kids something to work at where they've earned money, and then to get the loans paid off, and then after they're all paid off, all the profit comes to us. There's several things that I think really help create that experience at Hokulia. Obviously the design. I've been to many different shave ice places, and it's like a shed. That's not the experience that you want. The shack, the design, having a place to sit down, the music. It's more than just a product. It's an experience, but the product by far is what brings people in, and then you keep them there with the experience that you try and create for them while they're there. Well, my favorite product has to be the Kona Sunset with either macadamia nut, coconut, or pineapple ice. You gotta have ice cream in it, but I've probably eaten a few too many in my day. But I just love the Kona Sunset, and then just the tropical flavors, the soft, smooth ice. I mean, it really doesn't even feel like you're eating ice. It's just so smooth. But my favorite overall flavor has to be blue raspberry. I just love the blue raspberry flavor, and so but there's nothing like in the summertime. I'm out working on the shack doing some repairs or whatever, and just to finish off the day with a nice shortboard of a Kona Sunset and some ice cream is fantastic.